So don't disregard your accomplishments through your day. No matter how small you are, they're accomplishments.
Yeah.
And if you change that mindset to being like, you know, these little wins, that's really going to change your outlook on just kind of everything. Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended on a Monday, motherfucking snowy day in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
I'm Jesse.
It's snowed. I'm Tom.
And that's Tom. But no, it was crazy because so this weekend I went to me and the wife and our friend Efren and his name's Mundo and his wife. We all went to go watch the Kevin Hart stand up in Portland.
Yep.
And it was good, but like the weather was perfect. It was fine. It was not raining, nothing. Sunday, all of a sudden we're like downstairs eating breakfast because they give you like a free voucher to eat.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of cool. And then we look out the window and just fucking snow's coming down. We're like,
in Portland,
man. Yeah. So then, we got ready, headed out, and came home. But like the roads were like getting a little rough coming towards the Tri-Cities.
I'll bet. Were you guys you were in the Oregon side?
Yeah, so come through Biggs, that side down the river, which is a cool drive.
Right. At least you're not super high elevation. But
no, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So now I'm like worried, like me and the wife are going to go to watch the 49ers Seahawks game. So now I'm worried about going through the pass. I don't want to fucking lose out on money.
The pass can be bad.
I know. I might fucking do the 9-hour trip. I'm going to Portland, then
and then go up. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do that.
Bypass the mountain, say.
I mean, how much money am I going to waste in gas?
Right now, like $1 million probably.
Well, I don't know. It's gone down. It's gone down. I went to Costco. It was like 3 something at Costco.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was last week.
Because I haven't bought gas in a few days.
Yeah, last week it was like 3 at Costco, 3 something, high 3s. It was like 3, we'll say 80s, 390 somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be done.
It was the cheapest I've seen in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
So anybody want gas, go to Costco.
Costco usually has pretty good prices.
According to last week, go to Costco.
Yeah, as of last week, we'll see.
As of last week, go to Costco.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, how you been?
I've been pretty good.
We haven't hung out in a minute.
I know. It's been quiet.
Like we we hung out after during Thanksgiving, but we haven't gone hung out.
No,
but
no, it's been good. We got it snowed here all day yesterday, which isn't super normal. I like it. I like it. We were excuse me. We were expecting maybe like a 2-hour delay for work.
Well, that's what was showing on our Power School or whatever yesterday.
Yeah, they called it at 7:00 yesterday. And then 7:00 this morning, they called that it was canceled.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. At first, it was kind of a bummer because then it's like, now we got to change the schedule later. And
Yeah.
But I am trying to be more positive about things. And so I was like, there's really no reason to be upset at all about having a free day.
Well, no, I get it.
You're not expecting it, and all of a sudden it's like your whole day opens up. It's like, okay, I need to use this time.
And I don't know if we talked about this on the last podcast or not, but I had that week off during where Thanksgiving was.
Yeah, right.
And that first day, I should be thankful that I got the day off. Because, but I had plans in my head of things to do.
Right.
And it didn't go. But I was being negative.
Yeah.
I might as well work, blah, 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 but then the wife, she spoke to me oh man, just enjoy it. And so then changing that mindset a little bit.
It's so easy to do though.
I was because I can still be negative now. Obviously earlier I was just being negative just before we got on here.
It happens.
Just changing that. I kind of by my third day, by that Wednesday, I was it was cool. I went to Lowe's, kind of just strolled around instead of feeling like I need to hurry up. I need to look for what I need and get the fuck out. I was just taking my sweet time because I was what? Why am I? Because I was rushing.
Right.
And then I just paused and I'm why am I rushing?
Yeah.
Where am I going?
Right.
No one's home.
Right.
Yeah. I got nothing to do.
Yeah. Even if I do rush, I'm just
the house is clean. There's nothing for me to really do, but
do you think that we do get caught in that mindset though of if I don't get this done now, then it's gonna domino. There are so many times 100%. In your life where it's you have to be super focused on tasks
that's how I am. I have to have something to do too. Even when I got home last night.
So it's funny because I don't always have to have something to do, but I told you earlier today that like sometimes I'll get a little bit more like depressive, I guess, sometimes when there's not a lot going on. Yeah. Which is really weird. I feel like I rush through everything to get to the point where it like relaxes, and then I just get depressed when it relaxes.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that and working on that a lot because it's just insane.
It is.
You know, it's like we're throwing away, and I talked to my kids in school about this like last week. I was like, let's make use of our time together. Like let's do something with this, little first graders. Let's
Well, I mean, I think that's a good mindset truly, to put into them.
I really think at this age it's like you guys need to understand this as early as possible because you're going to throw away so much useful time. It doesn't mean that you have to like pack every minute with something important. That's not what I mean, but like learning the grace of accepting when things are going right and when they're going wrong and when they're busy and when they're not busy. And like, you know, those days where you're just looking forward to something, you're like, oh man, I just want it to be Friday already. I'm like, how many days do we just throw away?
I threw away today,
you know, of our lives. It's like, we're never going to get the day back. And we just are like, oh, I just want this day to be over. It's like, I get it. Sometimes things suck. Don't get me wrong. But there's something to that. Just, I don't know. I've always sucked at being present in the moment.
I'm terrible at it.
Oh,
even now,
I've been to two therapists who are both like, well, you need to be present in the moment. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I can't fucking do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
So yeah, I'm here because I'm really
I'm present in this goddamn moment. I need help.
Yeah, right
being
now,
present in all the
you're
other
telling
ones.
me that I'm thinking about something else. So
I know it.
You know,
like as soon as they tell you that, you're like, well, no, you just verified why I feel like I'm a piece of shit. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm not even here right now. Great.
Yeah, yeah. So what you're telling me is,
no, but I was listening to a guy earlier today, and it was really interesting because I actually felt really good today. I didn't feel any kind of like, kind of like, you know, blah feeling.
Yeah, I get it.
And I was listening to this guy. I wanted to look up like happiness or finding peace, that kind of thing, just as like to learn about it in a sense. And this guy was talking about different, and I forget what his name is, but he was talking about like looking at your feelings, your emotions, and your what was it? There was 3 different things. Whatever. I'm gonna butcher it, but it was interesting to hear him like discuss them differently about how like he was saying like a lot of times like you react with like anger, you react with like fear, and then you get mad and you're like, oh god, I suck. Like why did I do that,
bro?
And I was like, very interesting because he's like,
my toe knows what you're talking about.
yeah, I know you have a personal experience with that recently.
Yes,
but yeah, he's like, you know, it's not you. Like the feeling is a feeling. We all have those feelings. Everybody has those feelings.
But he's saying it's not you.
So he's saying it's not you. Like it's not who you are. That feeling is not who you are.
Oh yeah. Not you. Like, it's not defines you
because I got mad.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
I got
that. That's where you want to avoid generalizing
but then,
to your
but then you
being.
just feel like that's who you are at all times.
You kind of do. Like you feel your brain spiraling down that hole of like, okay, well this sucks and that sucks and blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden it's like you're vomiting negativity all over the place.
That's been me for a while. For the last few weeks. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I just been like, and I can't even complain because I'm like, things are like going well. Like I'm losing weight, like I'm maintaining that weight loss. It could be maybe I'm not walking and being out as much as I want to be. That's kind of where I'm like leaning. That's where it is. But that negativity that you're just talking about, like that's something I'm trying to get out of my head because I just got great news last week. I got a fucking raise.
Nice.
So I'm making 15 grand more than I was making.
Damn.
I got my raise like that, right?
Dude, nice.
And so I'm like, all this positive stuff happened, but at the same time, I cannot seem to get out of my head the negative, like that, exactly what you just spoke of, like the way you said that, where you're just like, you know, like in your head, like
but
that.
It's like the funny thing is
it just spirals.
Sometimes we don't know the catalyst for it.
Yeah, I cannot figure out why I'm being this way, and I'm trying. Like, there's days where I'm like, okay, let's just be thankful for these moments,
right?
Because you know, like my wife had said that a few weeks back, because I was like, I had just mentioned about, I don't know, well, no, we mentioned that off air. About my time off of work, and I was just Monday happened, and I was just annoyed, and I hated it, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Should be thankful you got the day off, but I have all these things to do. I got these things to do, and now I'm a piece of shit because I can't do shit. Like, why am I even fucking taking time off? Now I'm losing money. Now I need to fucking just keep working.
Just dominoes,
like,
right?
My wife's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" She's like, "Slow down." Like, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you literally have to do? Do you have to get this done? Would it be nice? Yeah, right. But is it a necessity? Do you need to get these things done? Like, well, no.
Well, why does it make you feel bad?
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like I'm failing the day.
See, that's it. That's what I mean? It's like you're setting yourself up.
I got all this stuff planned.
If I were good enough, this would be done.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's just affirming to me that I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, if you look at most people, the biggest fear that we have, I'm just going to say it. Like, maybe I'm wrong and it's just me, but like a lot of the time it's just like believing somewhere deep inside, even if like you intellectually know better, I will never be good enough. No matter what I do, won't be good enough.
Yep.
And you go through life trying to prove it.
Yeah.
And you get better and better, but there's still that little like fat kid.
It's always there.
That's like, the candy bar fatty, like, you'll never be worth
you're worthless.
It's like, I don't know.
No, that's true, because that's how I feel. Like,
right.
Like we say, I'm pretty open with this show, and I'm open with how I am.
Right.
And I feel like that, just like anybody else out there. Like I have those days.
Yeah.
And lately it's been that way, and I don't know why. Could be just lately. I think what it is I'm stuck at home again.
Yeah. Right.
And
I'm just
not that guy. I'm not that guy to be a home person. I got to do something. Mm-hmm. And if there's nothing for me to do, it's just I got all this pent up energy, and I waste it.
Yeah, which does make feel like
I should be able to figure out how to use it, but I don't. But
I gotcha. Yeah.
But no, you get that feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm a piece of shit.
Right. And it's like, it's funny how your brain
like even just before the show, I was just telling you, like, God, I'm proud of you, Tom, but man, I feel like a loser pretty much. Like,
I'm proud of both of us because I think we've accomplished a lot. But
you're like, I'm in this happy place. I'm like, I wish I was there, man.
I wouldn't say that, but I know what
you're in a good spot is what I'm saying.
I'm in a good spot in this moment, and I'm in control of a lot of things that I haven't felt in control of in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but like I know that there's like there's that verge. It's like the edge of a cliff. Like everything's great now, but if I step over one
when is it going to hit
this way or that way, will I still be fine?
When is that other shoe going to drop?
Yeah, in a way, but like I'm not anxious about it. It's not like I'm worried, because like I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to turn into like this podcast where we just talk about like, oh, I'm lifting weights and that's not my intent. But I mean, I will say I feel a lot better now that I'm exercising, and like I've met my goal. Like my goal was to get between 225 and 215. I'm 212.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I was freaking fat. I saw a picture of myself.
Oh, I get it.
These guys, if you've been watching, you've seen.
Well, both of us, you've seen how bloated we look.
It was insane. And like, it is so hard. I don't know. For 10 years, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because it is mentally really tough to make that adjustment. And fortunately, it was like, okay, I thought I had to for my health.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it. And now it's like, and that entire time I had a really positive mental attitude about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now that I'm starting to have to really check myself and be like, okay, how much is enough? Like, for my next goal, I'm like, we watched that Limitless show with Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, we just finished it last night.
Great.
I fell asleep during every episode.
Really?
Oh. Not every episode, like 3 of them. But
I did not.
It's not a good show for me to watch when I'm laying down, because there'll be points where it's like kind of slows down.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah.
I will not take anything away from that show. It is really awesome. It's just I fell. There's a couple times.
So
I told
me super
Alicia,
jacked up and motivated. But
I was like, we got to rewatch. I got to rewatch that because there was some, like you just said, you get it does do that.
It does, because you're watching him confront things, and But then I got in my head like, oh, that's how I want to look, and like, okay, and I have not done that at all, and I'm good at not doing that.
See, I'm good at that, but what I'm bad at is I have this negative mind.
Yeah,
and I go, he's doing that because he's an actor. So how do I know? How do I know this is real? He's acting,
and it's true. I mean,
That's how I start thinking, but I can see you can see it. You can see it in his face and the way you just I don't know. You can feel it.
He does have a genuine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You can feel that genuineness about it.
I didn't care one way or the like. I the Marvel stuff's cool, but that's not like my core.
Oh no, I didn't care about the Marvel. I didn't even think about that.
No, what I'm saying is like Chris Hemsworth was never a thing to me. I was like, oh, yeah, he's an actor. I like him so much now after that thing. It's because
that's cool.
The way that they did it. And it's just very well done.
Well,
so you feel like you almost know him on some level. But I'm like thinking, then I don't know. I want to be in a healthy headspace as I move on to the next phase. And I am at this point. But my wife had to kind of like ego check me for a minute last week because I was like, you're looking at yourself in the mirror all the time and like super analyzing it. Like I've been lifting weights for like a week, right? And I'm looking to see if my muscles are any bigger. And I'm asking her, like, do you notice anything different? Or like,
well, no, I get it.
And it's like, it gets really annoying after a while. And I'm like, okay, so like,
I was doing abs.
Check.
I did abs for so I did this. It's called like abs in 30 days. Literally is what the app's called, people. It's free. And when I say free, I mean, it's legit free. There's one ad when you first start it. Mm-hmm. And then after you're done with your like routine, an ad pops up for 5 seconds. Each 5 seconds. Easy. It's like not annoying.
Uh-huh.
But I had done that and I was like looking, I was like, damn, babe, when I stand like this in the light, you can see it. You see that? You see that little muscle? Dude, look at that. Your man looking good. And she's like, oh my, you're so dumb. She does it in a laughing way, but she's okay with it. But then I get what you're saying.
I'm not shit talking Blanca. I mean,
it's not.
No,
this is where I'm getting.
It was on me.
Yeah,
I was being very annoying.
This is where I'm getting right now. It's like, so I had been lifting too. I started lifting,
right,
and then I start like, there's a mirror literally like. So if I'm standing right here, the mirror's off to my left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll look at it. And I'm like,
at the right angle, right?
Like I see it. I'm like,
you get the right twist.
Like, babe, I don't know. I'm starting to look kind of nice. She's like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, do
you notice my shoulders look bigger?
Do
my shoulders look bigger though?
I do that too. I'm like, babe, what do you think? It's like,
you need that validation though. As a man,
I need it way too much right now.
Well, no,
and I think it's because like I let myself really go. And that's the thing.
Where were we? So this is not.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to men out here.
To all you guys out there,
men, I'm not shit talking our ladies or nothing, but when we were at our chubbiest, our ladies weren't quick. They were quick to tell us, haha, you're fat, or joke around. Like, they poke
in
fun.
A normal way that people do.
Yeah.
I mean, not in like some mean
they
way
do it a lot,
vicious
though.
way, but like, yeah, and I was like, she showed me.
And it's like, haha, yeah, I get it. But then now that we start feeling good and we're like flexing, it's like, calm down. Well, they also want to like,
also like,
they don't want to bump it up a little. Well, why don't you say, look at your muscles, baby?
Because
I want that to, why don't you slap it on my face or something?
Well, it's like
whatever.
And
but I don't know, when you start seeing yourself as big and then you see yourself like like that depth, you feel good. Well, it feels good, kind of. Like, how do you check that?
I know I haven't put on any muscle. Like, I know I haven't. But
you can see the change, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, from being...
just even the slight, subtle changes.
I was 260 pounds.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 months ago. And I am now at 212. I mean, that's
a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
Yeah.
And
I was at 210.
Just losing the weight makes a big difference. It's like just visually looking at it, you're like, wow.
Oh.
But then you're like, I don't know, your head does play
because you
games with that too. Because then
you start feeling kind of sexy a little bit though.
Well, with your expectation, like for me, it doesn't happen right for me. I've got to tweak my mind a little bit because like I don't really feel like sexy. I feel like I don't know. I can't even put my finger on it. And that's what I really need to work on.
I mean, do you feel good though? That's what I'm saying.
I feel great. And I look at myself and I'm like, yeah. But I'm starting to notice the imperfections.
Well, see, I think that's
what I have to be, because I've been really careful about that.
That actually will give you that negative.
See, and that's it. And
you'll start like, it's what's the point?
See, and I would have been right back in that first spot right away.
I've been doing this for a week.
I haven't
seen any gain.
I have to really break that, because every day, like, I'm exercising and it feels good, and that's why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start looking like, well, that fat's still there. Well, so I have this thing, my chest dents in. It's called like pectus something or other.
Yeah, which is
and I've been looking it up. Because there's a guy that he does like workouts for it and stuff, and it shows you how you can kind of compensate.
Yeah, but how long does it take to get there?
So that's the thing, and it's like I just don't know enough about it. But I'm like, and in the end, it's like that is what my chest is. So like this idea of perfection that I've started, like it's like I feel so good now that I could be Thor. I could be like. Well, and the reality is like I work. Like, it's not my job to film like a movie, so I'm not going to be able to dedicate the time to it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, frankly. Yeah. Like, I'm lifting weights.
He has probably personal trainer or something.
And I mean, I'm not shitting on the guy because I love the guy. He's awesome. But,
he's amazing.
It's just like, I think he would say the same thing probably. Is like, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's
Rome wasn't built in a week.
And you realize, like, just watching the Limitless thing, the amount that he had to do just to be Thor's size.
Well, I think what people don't see, this is the thing I think people should understand too when you watch this show is don't go into the show because each episode he's doing something different to see if he can prolong his life, what's going to help.
Right.
But the thing that's cool, what I actually really thought was cool, and it was like this with every episode. It was like he trained to get to these. So he like one of the episodes he has to climb this rope up this fucking
I was thinking about that
in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, right? But he didn't just go climb that rope.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Thor's, Thor. Chris Hemsworth, the big dude, he's a very in shape guy. Yeah. But then they put him through this other training to do muscles training.
His muscles that for that particular thing were not developed.
No. And so his training for that took 10 weeks, which I thought was cool. It's like everything he does, it's like, it's not just like the next day he's doing it and he's faking. He's like training this shit for like weeks on end. He was trying to be old. The one we just watched, he was an old man.
Oh,
with the like
Did
rubber
you finish
band.
That one?
I fell asleep.
Oh,
I told you I fell asleep. I watched the whole thing, but I fell asleep. Alicia watched all of them. Like
I don't warn people. The very last episode, make sure that you're ready for it because the end was emotional for us. Blanc and I both got emotional. I don't really get.
See, I fell asleep. I don't know what happened. I just know he was like old. He was like
he's supposed to feel old.
He's so feel, and then he comes back and he's like, got to finally get it off. But I don't remember what happened after that because I fell asleep.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I can see it being emotional.
No, it was like,
especially with what has to deal with
like
his own life.
Where we are, like, I mean, I think at the time that they filmed it, he was 38, and now he's 39, and like, I think. When you're in your late 30s and you're like early 40s, it's kind of that moment in life where you've lived long enough that you're kind of coming to realization that it's not going to be forever,
That's me.
And
I think that's where I've been at the last couple of years.
We're not old, but it's like you feel like, I don't know, like even if you feel like you're successful, and I don't really know because we're like relatively successful normally.
No,
but like we're not rich, we're not whatever, but you just feel like that youthful time is kind of gone, and now you're just looking forward.
I don't know if this has to do with what you're saying, but like for me, I'm 42 now, right? Mm-hmm. And so this has been something I've thought about the last few years,
right?
And like it took me a lot to get to where I'm at now, like getting into shape, or not even getting shape, just losing the weight, and like, but thinking like, shit, I need to be here for my kids, like I'm not 20 anymore. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, and then I started getting these fears. I'd wake up and it'd be like in the middle of the night, you ever wake up and it's just, you just wake up. And then like for me, when I wake up a lot of times, something I told the doctor this when I went and saw him, like I'll wake up and my mind doesn't stop.
Right.
As soon as I wake up, I'm start thinking stuff, and then I'm trying to sleep, but then I'm like overthinking stuff. And then I start thinking just stupid shit.
Right.
And then there's those times where I start thinking like, fuck, dude, I'm going to die. And what am I leaving my kids? Like, I'm going to die soon. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm drinking. Obviously, I'm drinking right now, but
we're kind of celebratory when we haven't done it in a long time. But
like, I think I still have drank more than you since we've done this thing. But like, for me, it's been like, it's been a 180.
Relative. I mean,
it's been a 180. But anyway, but I still have these thoughts, like these negative thoughts, where I'm like, I'm gonna die soon, like, and I get these fears, and then I can't sleep because then I'm like scared, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna, like, I don't want to die. Like that's, those are the thoughts I start getting in my head, and like, what can I do to like better? Right. And that's, trying to be in better shape and walking more and eating better. Like that kind of helped. And watching the show, I saw that and I was like, okay, even though like I fell asleep during some of it, I'm not going to lie, but it's not because the show was boring. It's just the wrong time of day for me.
I got
it just made me think like, damn, I get where he's coming from. Like, I don't, you want to prolong that life and you want to like
overcoming these like difficult challenges. Like for me, I think one of the things that was really bothering me for a while was the feeling like I'm just mentally weak. I just had this feeling like I've overcome things in my life. I have, like I'm
mentally goals, weak and I've come over,
but it's like crazy shit. No, that's the thing, is like to feel like I don't put myself in uncomfortable situations. I don't, you know. So it's like I liked that aspect of that show of like putting.
Let me push myself.
Like do things that are physically uncomfortable, like, because that's exercise. I got to the point I didn't want anything to be uncomfortable at all, so I wouldn't exercise because it's uncomfortable. I never got to the point of actually feeling like the benefit of it, just the endorphin rush of it. It was just like, oh, I don't like this feels hard. And like how
it's funny though, because like me, the physical aspect of stuff, I don't mind. Like that's never been a problem.
I've not.
The mental side of shit, I don't like that. Like for me, when stuff changes or something, that mental aspect of things, that's where my workout needs to come in. I was like, I need to be better at that mentally, because I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with, my dog died. I don't want to deal with that. Like that mental shit. Like I don't want to deal with those emotions.
Yeah.
Like physical shit, I'll take that every day. Mental shit, that's for me, that's my physical, I guess, in a sense. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
no, it does.
The mental side of other things, like,
confronting those emotions and all
I've been through a lot of shit in my life, which is, to me, is nothing. Like I don't think about it in an aspect of anything, but it's just certain things in my life that come. And
do you think it's like as a kid having to compartmentalize it in some way?
Could be. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Like that's maybe
tough because you don't know, and I don't know.
Maybe that's a thing I need to actually see a therapist for or something, because I don't know really. Like to me, it's just something I've dealt with. And I'm done with it, or it's made me who I am or whatever. But I never, like, mentally, it's just always like, those are the things that are like, nope, don't want to deal with it.
One thing I've tried to take from that particular show and apply, and it's only been like a week, but I'm not going to do some big challenges like he did, obviously. No, like, I don't have any plans to do that. But like,
what are big to you, though?
That's the thing. Like little things that are hard that I don't want to do. Like, for example, they have an episode where he has to get in the freezing cold water.
Been there.
I don't want to get in cold water, but I'll make the shower cold and stand in it for a little bit.
Dude, just do the polar plunge.
Do it and see, I would. And it's just like those little things where it's like saying yes to some things that you don't want to do for the point that you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And
that's where you got to push it, right? For you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think we've started to do that with the podcast a little bit, put ourselves into situations that are
speaking of
comfortable, but
in the 20th, we're going to be on
we're going to be on another show.
Yeah, which is an uncomfortable situation for us.
We're both a little bit. I mean, I feel ready for it. I feel good about it.
Because kind of what you're saying, and I don't mean to cut you off on what your point is those uncomfortable situations is for him and I. We're both very socially awkward when it comes to talking to others.
Sure.
Right? Like we'll talk. It's so weird because
I think we're good at it.
We're good at. No, that's what I mean. Like we can talk to others. Like I don't want to though.
We're in a comfort zone.
So if I'm if I go to a party, I have to do that, right? I'm okay with that. But if I have to put myself in a situation, that's never going to happen because I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And so us getting out of our comfort zone where we're like, okay, let's do this. Because I've had friends that have podcasts that, hey, why don't you come on our podcast?
Which we still need to do.
Which I still need to do, but like that fear at that time was like, nah, I'm good.
The reality is like, what's the worst thing?
What am I going to give them? Like, my podcast ain't nothing. Like that's how I think.
Hey, this is a.
But I think we have an awesome. And I've never downplayed our.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
I've actually never downplayed this podcast. I feel like we have actually one of the best podcasts out there. Just I swear to God,
don't you?
I swear to God, I feel like we have something out there that most people don't have to like. Yeah, like I don't know.
I just think people feel like they're hanging out with us, and like
I'm going to talk to you the way I am.
Well, we talk.
Tom
a lot
knows
of
this
stuff,
is how I talk
like,
when we're just not even on the radio.
We aren't experts on anything. Like we're not. We're just normal people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we live our lives, and once a week we get on and we record ourselves talking to each other. Pretty much.
That's pretty much. You should hear us before we get on. Sometimes we have like pretty good combos.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't say anything. Like
there's times like before we get on the podcast, and not even sometimes, like a lot of times, we have like some pretty good conversations, and it's like, why aren't we recording this?
Yeah, right. I know.
Why are we so stupid? And then we get on the podcast and we're like,
crickets.
Hey, welcome to Just Weirdly Blended.
Yeah, we got some guys that come on pretty frequently. I want to get Mike back on at some point.
Well, I want to get like,
because I think
I have my buddy Anthony. He's been wanting to get on since we started this podcast, which is welcome to season 4.
I know. Yeah, actually, we should have started with that.
What?
So this is our 4th season, 61st episode.
How crazy!
It's pretty nuts. We've done it for over a year, and it's just a little thing. But back to the main topic. If we were totally unwilling to put ourselves out there, this never would have happened.
This would have never happened. You're right.
Like,
you're right.
We were so nervous.
Are those little wins.
Do you remember what it felt like when we first started doing
Second
this?
time I remember.
To put
first time.
That was back when we were fat and we were just blitzed with alcohol. So
we were drunk idiots.
Like, that one wasn't a problem at all.
But no, I get what you're saying.
But no, like, yeah, when we really started, like, okay, let's do this every week.
Let's make this a thing.
I was so nervous.
It was.
And then we would get into it and it'd be fine. And yeah, I was super critical of my voice.
Yeah.
And now, like, we sit here after the show and we edited it.
Yeah, edit it. Yeah.
We edit it. And I can hear myself. I don't hate my voice anymore. I don't bother myself anymore. This show, doing this show has helped me personally so much. And just, I don't feel nervous like that. Because, like, I know there's people out there that don't like our show, I'm sure. And I'm okay with that. Like, I really have gotten to a place of, like, that's okay.
We're going to have our people.
Yeah, like,
the people it's going to really
somebody's going to feel, and I want,
and that's what I want.
To lay myself out there and maybe help somebody else feel like, oh God, okay, I feel like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to pretend that I just have answers to things. I don't.
No, I think you bring up a good point though, because it's like there is, like you said, there's going to be people that don't like our show.
Yeah,
right. and that's fine. This isn't for everyone. Right. But at the end of the day, for us to maybe help someone that's maybe going through the same shit, or like can kind of like feel what we're kind of going through and be like, damn, yeah,
right. I think
to know that helps someone. I mean, to me, that's a win.
Well, maybe it's easy for people to hear somebody else opening up and talking about it, like, because I know it's not a lot of what we talk about aren't things that, like, everyone's always comfortable talking about. We try to be pretty open about things.
I think we're pretty
insecurities.
I think we jumped ahead of this whole men's mental health. I think we've been kind of like facing that since we started. Well, I think it's something that, like,
if we want the world to be a better place, then we have to take care of everybody.
Well, if you want the world, you got to take care of yourself if you want to feel like the world. You know what I mean?
How do you do that in the crazy world that we're in? I mean, like, even if you take out like all the crap you're going to see in the news and all that, just like in your own life, we live a very hectic life where you really don't ever feel like you're good enough. Like, no matter what you do, we just run through life and then we die. And it's like, I mean,
not to be depressing,
sorry to be negative, but like,
you go through life and then you die.
But there's so much, like, like right now we should be just ecstatic to even be here. Like, you think about the odds of us even being here in the first place.
It's astounding.
Statistically, I mean, the amount of sperm we had to beat. We were the marathon winner. Just think, every dumb person you've ever met was the best.
I'd be such an angry sperm if I lost.
I know.
I'd be that sperm you can see after the guy cummed. You'd see me flopping like a fish because I was pissed I lost.
Oh, like bumping into the egg over and over again.
No. But like, no, it's true. It's so, that kind of brings it back to what I like. My day off was, and something that actually the doctor had told me, but something my wife had actually said too, is just like, don't look at the shit look at those wins that you're getting throughout the day.
Right.
She's like, because she saw how upset I was because I was just in this negative space. I have this week off I took because I wanted to get my cabinets done, and that didn't really happen the way I wanted. Right. I didn't. Thanksgiving week, it was tough at that time. I'm like being super negative. And when I get in these modes, it's like I just get down on myself and I'm just like very negative and I'm just very annoyed and I'm just in a bad headspace. And you can relate. Everyone can relate. And I still, I'm not like saying I'm like always in this positive headspace all the time, because I'm not. There's many days where I'm like not there. But she was just like, but you did this today, right? And you did this today. I'm like, well, yeah. Well, and you did this, right? I'm like, well, yeah, I did that. She goes, but you also did this, right? I'm like, well, I did all those things, but my day was supposed to be for this, and I didn't get to do that, so I fucked my day over, and then I've been getting good at like kind of taking that step back and just being like, you know what, babe, I'm sorry, you're right, Like I wasn't being like a dick by, you're right, you're always right, yes, that's all right. It wasn't like one of those, but it was I was genuinely like, babe, you know what? I appreciate you. Like, you're right. Yeah. Like this was, I guess you're right. Cause I did, clean the whole house. I swept and mopped the whole fucking house. I did a lot of stuff, so my day was full, but not necessarily with what I wanted, but at the same time, it was those wins. And then when I went to the doctor, I told him how sometimes I'll wake up in the night and I'm just like I had said just a little bit ago, it's like my mind races sometimes if I wake up and I can't go back to sleep for hours. Mm-hmm. I wake up at 2 a.m. I'm not going back to sleep till 4:30, 5 o'clock, because I'm just, something's there. Boom. What I got to do? Oh my God, you fucking piece of shit. You didn't do this. Or, oh my gosh, we got to do this. And it's not always like down on myself. It's just like my mind's just always all over.
Just reminding yourself of things you have to accomplish.
Yeah. And like things maybe I didn't accomplish either. Like, okay, since you didn't get this done, you fucking got to do this. But like the doctor, the way he said it, which I really thought was cool, is just like, he said him and his wife do these things where they like talk about these wins they had through the day. Mm-hmm. 3 wins. That's it. What 3 wins did you have?
Right.
You tell that at the end of the day, and it tricks your mind into feeling these weird, instead of like, because anxiety and excitement is what he told me is similar.
They're like the same emotion. It's just where your mental energy is going with it, right?
Yeah. So he's saying like trick your mind. And so when you talk about these wins, your mind will feel this way. And then,
but then you can make your mental state match.
Dude, I would have loved to have him on that time he was talking to me, because I was like, dude, that. And I go, I go, you're right. That makes sense, because, like,
well, we go to the same doctor now.
Yeah. And I told him about you.
And I was like, hope that I was one of his wins.
No, and he's, I mean, like you said, he's a really cool, down to earth. He's not awesome. Like a pill pusher. He doesn't seem like the type that's going to push pills. He's actually seems a very anti,
he wants to solve.
He's anti-food, the food industry. You can tell, like the food industry is making you fire.
Well, it's just, I mean, there's no doubt. Like, food is designed to be fattening and sugary.
But the thing you told me about the wins, it was really like, I'm like, no, I go, it's funny you say that. And then I told him about my wife. Because like I said, the way I talk to Tom right now and here and there, it's no different than how I talk when I'm not here and there, right? Mm-hmm. Tom knows. Like, I will blurt out how I feel to Tom. Like, before here, I'm like, Tom, you're awesome. I'm a piece of shit. That's how I've been feeling, like, it's just these feelings I have.
Well, you're not alone. I mean,
but like, no, I can say with my genuosity, I don't know I can't say it right, but I ain't a teacher. I'm an IT guy with my gigabyte energy is, there's just, there's things out there, but anyway, but the way he said stuff, I was like, no, that's cool. And then my wife, when she had told me that, I was like, okay. And then I started thinking about that. And then a few days later, stuff came up, and I just kind of like remembered. I remembered what she had told me, and I was like, okay, I have accomplishments out there, so don't disregard your accomplishments through your day. No matter how small you are, they're accomplishments.
Yeah.
And if you change that mindset to being like, these little wins, that's really going to change your outlook on just kind of everything.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do, because like I said, I just got a raise at work. I got all these things going awesome in my life, and I just need to change little things in my head. That's like, okay, these are awesome. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Let's enjoy this.
Right.
My patience hasn't been where it needs to be. Right. My dogs really test that shit.
Yeah.
Right. and I mean this because Tom knows, because I sent him a picture of my toe. My dogs really upset me the other day. I got kind of pissed, and I went outside and I kicked something that's connected to our wall. It's a little plastic thing that holds the hose.
Yeah.
And I had my boots on. I was like, God damn it, to let my frustration.
In fairness, you had your boots on.
So. I had my boots on, and I was just letting out frustration, and then I kicked it, and then all those endorphins let off and all that.
Oh, yeah, I was broken.
All that things, and I was like, my fucking toe hurts. I was like, she didn't say I told you so, but she said I told you so. She didn't have to tell me, but she was like, you're dumb. I'm like, I know. And so, yeah, sure enough, I take my fucking sock off. I got these fucking purple ass toe. Even right now, it's still purple. It feels way better. I don't know if it was broken or more sprained, or I don't know what it was, but it's still purple. But no, it's like that patience. I got to practice that patience, right? So once the doctor had told me that, and Alicia had told me that about the dogs, it's something I'm trying to get through. And then after the doctor on Friday told me that, I was like, okay, instead of me getting upset because my dogs need to go to the bathroom, because how pissed would you be if you're in a kennel and you had to piss and you couldn't, right? It's more like, okay, when I wake up, in my head, I need to wake up and greet my dogs with positive energy.
Right.
Oh, let's go, boy. I know, man. I got to pee too, right? I need to, and that's how I'm trying to like, so today when I woke up a little more happy instead of like, oh, God damn you, Rex, motherfucker, dude. I'm trying to sleep in. It's no one got school. I don't got to take kids to school. I can sleep in. But it was more of a positive outlook because I started thinking about, like I said, what the doctor said, what Alicia said. I'm trying to take that in. And so, that's my new approach to things, is trying to be more happy.
Sure. Yeah.
I got to, if you fake being happy, eventually it'll be happy, right?
Yeah, true.
Even though it can be annoyances.
Yeah.
Isn't it an annoyance? Or it's inconvenience for me.
Yeah, right.
Like, is it really?
Well, it's like framing it the right way.
How would I feel if I was in a kennel and I had to piss, but I couldn't?
Well, that's empathy, right? I mean, that is
like, how fucked up is it for me to be mad at my dog for wanting to pee?
Right.
It's not like I'm, even in the mornings when he does wake me up, it's not like I'm not going to be up.
Right.
I'm already awake. I'm not out of bed.
Right.
So it's like, how is that fair? And so that's what I'm trying to think now. And it actually today was like a good day for that. It's just like, let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
So, I get it. Go pee. So I'll open the door and he goes out there and goes pee, does his thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to be afraid.
No, and I
don't want to be.
For me, it's getting.
Sorry to talk so much.
No, you're good. It's less about. I don't think I physically not that I physically blew up, hit people and stuff, but no,
there's times you
kicking
me.
stuff.
Cool,
and shut up. No, but now it's like I just am aware, and I don't remember if I actually brought this up in the podcast or before. So forgive me if I did bring it up in the podcast, but that feeling that I get, that sort of melancholy, just kind of blah.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like there's so many things I want to do, and I just don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then I get annoyed that I'm just throwing my time away.
Amen.
And it's like I there's two things going on. One, I need to be okay sometimes with just not doing something. Which I think I'm getting better.
Exactly what my wife told me.
But I think I need to work on that. And the other thing is then get up and do something.
Yeah.
Instead, now, today was a good example. So I did what I hoped I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I got up, made something to eat, worked out, came back, made something else to eat. I wanted to experience the cold thing because I was like, that's a hard thing for me. I don't want to do that.
Oh, you've never told a cold shower just to take a cold shower?
No, I don't like it. So I did it today.
I love hot showers.
For a minute in frigid water. I was like, okay. But it was it was a test for me. It was okay, I did something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I've worked out. I've done all this stuff. So I felt good. And then the rest of the day, I went into it kind of with that feeling of accomplishment. I tried a little meditation thing because I really don't have a clue how to meditate.
I tried the I don't even know what it is, 3, 4, 2, 1 or something.
I don't know. I tried the breathing. I am the least in tune to this moment person on Earth.
I think I have you beat.
Like, I don't know. I have a really hard time.
I have a purple toe to tell you otherwise.
Like, I don't know. I sat there and tried to feel like I just listened to the voice tell me what to like focus on. And I tried my best. Chris Hemsworth.
No. I'm like, no, joking. What do you mean? What voice?
No, for real. If you do the center app, he's like,
okay. No, like what voice? Like your inner voice?
No. Chris Hemsworth has like,
which isn't a bad inner voice.
No, it's not at all. I actually
you know who,
like listening to him.
So you know who my man crush is? Is Henry Cavill, Superman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he got the British accent, so in my inner voice, he's British.
Quite to the level of man crush, but I mean, I really admire the guy. I really do.
I get you. It's a man crush.
You just feel like it is, like he's your buddy in a way. It is. You know, and but it's a little weird sometimes because like, you know, he's very much like lulling you into it. You know,
think about snakes on the plane.
Yeah, but like very like, you know. Like, feel.
You know what I want to hear? I want to hear Samuel L. Jackson in that.
Feel your motherfucking arms.
Motherfucker, just know that you motherfucking count in this world.
I know.
I feel like it'd be motivating.
It's nice, like, you know, because, and I've heard this before. Like the first therapist I went to told me, do something physical that connects you to your body, so you feel your body. Because
masturbate.
I had that covered. It was just.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. No, the thing is, like, I'm so in my head, or I'm better now, but I have been so in my head.
I can see that, actually.
And I think I did it. I talked to Blanca about this as a kid. If I got overwhelmed, if like just the world was too much, I would just disappear in my head, and I would just think about stuff.
Yeah,
and cope, and then come back and be okay to deal with stuff.
I do that still.
And so, like, I just think I had that behavioral pattern. If it's too much, I just kind of lose it and like, power down for a minute. I don't do it so much now because like I've learned, but in life where I feel like, okay, it's not work. It's not, because work is like become like, it's
you have a certain now, way. Yeah.
But for a long time, I felt just sort of out of control with work, which I know for me is I don't like to feel out of control.
That's how I feel at my work now. You know?
So that's a huge catalyst for me for a lot of problems.
Yeah, I hate my job, regardless of the raise I just got. Like I think that's a big thing. It's like my anxiety and like
because it always that's where I
feel out of control, like you just said, like you literally
the nerves
just said.
Come from I'm gonna have to be in this position I don't like again tomorrow, and I don't want to be there, but the entire time I'm home I'm just thinking about tomorrow and what I'm gonna deal with.
I deal that. That's me exactly right in this moment,
and I don't want it to go wrong, so I'm trying to do everything I can to make it not go wrong, but I don't know what to do,
and then you shut down,
and then that's where my head was. So it was like,
that's where my head is.
Every morning would go in feeling like I pray to God nobody ever gets hurt and everything stays okay. And I know I'm doing my best. I don't know what else to do. And I feel lost.
Yeah.
And I changed. I didn't leave my field, but I changed what I did. And, you know,
it was
good for, well, I mean, not immediately. It actually was worse in the beginning because then I went from feeling like I didn't.
But so like I didn't know anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I was the guy that people would like go to for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I was stressed out of my mind. Like I did not have a good balance. Yeah. Like my work-life balance with that particular aspect of it. There was just a lot of like stressors in that job.
Yeah. No,
I as a person, I take things too hard.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good fit for me.
Yep.
Because if anything didn't work right, or every time something went wrong, which it went wrong a lot, it would eat me alive.
Oh no, I get it.
So that was it. Every time I was home, I was still there.
Yeah.
I was still there. I was either processing it. I did not have, and I probably still wouldn't have if I did it today, a really good balance there.
Yeah, that's how I get like at home is something doesn't go right at work and I'm like a one-on-one with my boss coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there from Monday to Wednesday or whatever, stressing out. All that I already know this is coming up.
All right.
Right. Even though I know it's coming up, I'm starting to stress out what this conversation is going to be.
Yeah.
And I have these imaginary conversations. And I actually told the doctor this about where my anxiety comes from. Is like like I'll think these negative thoughts, kind of like almost exactly what you're talking about. It's like something went wrong where I'm just like, just drilling in my head what went wrong. And then I'm having these imaginary conversations because I'm having this imaginary talk with a boss. Right. And so for me, this is really happening in real time. And then when
your body's reacting to it.
Like in real time. Yeah.
Right.
And so when I literally have conversations with the boss and nothing gets brought up, it's like this wasted energy, this huge waste of my fucking energy
of your life. Yeah.
And nothing, like I always stress out one-on-ones come up.
Right.
And it's gotten a lot better, but my one-on-ones come up. I'm stressing. My boss, he's going to read me for this. He was being a dick about this. Fuck him. I already know I'm going to get in trouble for this. I already know, blah, blah, blah. And then my boss, we'll have this conversation. None of that shit gets brought up. He tells me, no, I thought you did a good job. You brought this up. You did a good job. You did, like he not that he always points out the good I do, obviously.
Sure.
But he doesn't bring up those things that I was talking, I was stressing about.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he'll bring up something else, but it's not something that I'm like, it's more something like when he tells me, I'm like, no, I know that was on me, like, yeah, I get it. But if it's something else, it's just, like in my head, this whole conversation that happened never happens. And then, then now after that, I'm just like drained.
Right.
Mentally, I'm drained, and then like work comes up and I just don't want to do shit. And like the whole week, I'm just like, blah.
So the very first episode,
that's how I feel all the fucking time. And I don't like it.
Well, the very first episode of the show, Limitless, right? He has to deal with that very thing.
And that's exactly when he talked about that, I felt that.
Yeah, me too. That's why the show was so impactful for me.
Which I watched the whole first episode and I felt it. And I was like, that's exactly how I feel. But that's
it, is like, your body's reacting to the fear as if it's like you're going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, like our bodies are creating a scenario where it's trying to survive and we're getting all these chemicals rushing us that long-term are horrible for us. And I really do think I'm better now, but I was horrible with that for years.
I'm just like, no, I know what you mean. I feel that way.
No. I mean, it's like, no, you would. I mean, I think the podcast has helped me a lot in that sense because you do it every week, and it's like we're throwing ourselves out there to the world. Whoever listens, we have some people that listen. It feels
good to like get that off
your
chest.
And it does, and it's like I don't think so much anymore about just saying something because it's like I do it all the time now. So I've kind of desensitized myself. It's like somebody thinks I'm stupid. They're probably not going to tell me. And if they do.
And that, how weird is that? Like, I have this thing. So if someone thinks of me a certain way, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to think I'm stupid regardless. Right. I say stupid shit. My wife knows it. I say dumb stuff. I'll act dumb. I'll do things that most people will feel embarrassed about, or they'll.
Sure.
Whatever. But in my head, I don't really care. But then there's these things that I do care, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, with doing this podcast, for me, it's been very therapeutic because it's like I get it out there, and it's just like I don't really realize it. I never realized it was therapeutic until the last year or so. Last year. We've only been doing it a year. Like we've been doing
until like the last. It's like
last 3 years,
September of 2000.
No, but the last few, like I guess a few months or so. Like I never realized it was therapeutic until we kind of like slowed it down at one point.
Yeah.
Like I felt myself like kind of annoyed a little more than normal because I'm not getting it out. Like I love to tell you guys, like, I'm feeling like shit today.
Yeah,
this week, last week, I wasn't my best. I wasn't 100% Jesse.
Right.
I was kind of like 75% me and 25% was kind of a dick. Like I was feeling like a piece of shit. Like there's those moments where I feel that way. And I think everyone feels that way. And I'm dealing like literally now, like there's things I'm dealing with now. Like, do I feel what I did in the beginning of us doing this or like my journey for weight loss? No, I don't feel that down, but there, I'm still feeling these effects of being like, ugh.
But it is cool this is like a record of the evolution of everybody in their life. Like who we were when we started this podcast, I think to our core, like we're still those guys, but like, we're amazing. You learn and you grow and you change and you do things. And it's like, I'm learning that happiness doesn't mean that every minute of the day you're just great and everything's great. It's like
true.
We talk a lot about, like trying to prevent suicide and things like that. But like mental health goes way beyond the extremes. Like it's also just recognizing that you're going to be mad. You're going to be sad. You're going to be frustrated.
You're going to feel certain
You're going to have days where you feel just melancholy and down.
You are.
And being okay with that.
And that's the key right there.
So that's it. And I'm still not there, but I'm
being
trying
okay with those bad days.
And like just owning the feelings and feeling the feelings. And like, you know, like we get to feel that way. Like we get to feel that human feeling.
Yeah. No, I get it. So there's so was it a couple weeks ago or a week ago? I was feeling alone, right? Like I'm married. My wife is mentally there for me. My wife, not a complaint. She is awesome. She'll lay her life for me, right? But I don't know if you feel this way or if any guys out there or any girls out there feel this way, but like there's times I just feel alone.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like I don't have anybody. I can't express to myself, like to people how I truly feel, right?
Yeah.
Because it might affect them a certain way and I don't want to deal with that, right? So there was a time like just recently where I'm feeling this way, like I just felt alone, like I feel like I got nobody. Like, what's the point? Like, I don't have anybody. Like, why am I dealing? Like, I don't have nobody. I don't want to deal with this. And like, not like suicidal. Like, no, don't get me wrong.
I know what you mean.
It was a suicidal thought, even though it sounds that way. But it was more like, who do I have? I feel alone. I don't got no one to talk to. I don't have nobody. I don't truly have anybody, right? And I was in this just negative headspace. Right. And like I've said many times, music brings me kind of to that. And I think I was listening to something. I don't remember, but like kind of anyway, like I kind of like did my little mental break, which is normally me in the garage and working on stuff, right? And that's kind of where I need that moment of just like woosah,
right?
And so like I got out of that obviously, but I was just having that moment where it's just like, what's the point? Like no one cares. It's not like for me, that's how it was. Like no one cares what I feel. No one cares what I think. No one really gives an F.
Right.
But you got to think about like, no,
but then it goes back to that ego part of it. That part of you that's trying to convince yourself that you're not good enough, which is a fucked up thing.
Like, it is, right?
But it's why it's there. I don't know. What
and that's what I was telling my wife.
Really serves, but yeah, and like, Blanc is good for me in the sense that she's very tough.
That's how Alicia is. No, Alicia,
I think
she's
that's
hardcore.
Why they work so well because like
they'll tell you straight up.
Well, it's so odd because she is so tough and she can seem so like not caring on some levels, but when you need them,
they're there.
They are so good. I know Blanc is anyway, at least about
Alicia is the same way.
Saying exactly what needs to be said. I'm not that good at it. Like I know I don't live up to her the way she does to me. Like I try, but
could that be that negative thought in your head that you're thinking? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
But you know what I mean?
No, it's
because I think you as a husband has gotten better at like kind of being there.
So.
I feel
I'm
like
trying.
We're not hanging out as much, and like I feel like we're given to our wives.
Well, I've realized that
not that we're like just not hanging out because our wives are saying no. But like, you know what I mean?
Like it was very easy for me to want to spend time with a friend
than with exactly. I rather hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I really accidentally took her for granted, and I still do at times. She needs things that I think goes both ways for me to give in some ways. Which the crazy thing is too. I mean, we're kind of jumping topics, but it all rolls into itself.
No, it's the same topic.
So when we got together, I remember like doing the profiles of like yourself when you're online or whatever and trying to meet people.
God,
and it's
like
that. I just like
I was like 6'5"
you're trying to like well I mean like
no, I really
when you're really trying to think of like who you are and like what you like at the time I was in my 20s, like I didn't have a clue who I was, so it's like
we probably had the same profile, you and I.
Well, I
mean,
it's like you're trying to mine was awful. I can't even believe I like met Blanca. Anyway,
I can't believe I met Alicia. Mine was so boring, bro.
I tried hard. I wore a blazer in a picture. That was really cool.
I was wearing a half tucked in shirt with my with glasses because it was nerd day at work. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I just like, luckily she and I think have grown together.
Oh yeah, you guys.
But I'm like, from what you say that you think you are, from 25 or whatever to like 35, You're not the same person.
No.
The things that you thought you liked, you don't like the same. Things that you thought didn't matter to you. Like, for example, my parents always took us like RVing and stuff. We would go out to parks and whatever. And I didn't care about it as a kid. I didn't care at all. So like when we were first dating and stuff, I never even brought it up. It wasn't even a topic of conversation.
Yeah, it was like, fuck
we didn't
that.
talk about camping. We didn't any of that. Years later, after Elliot was born, and I felt like I was stuck in an armchair holding a baby because she was working odd hours of me, and we were like,
that's when she was doing.
Yeah, we were like, I think I've talked about it before. We were like ships passing the night, like for the first couple of years of that, and we had Elliot pretty quick.
Yeah, no,
it was like the summer after we got together. So
me and Lisa, we had the same time, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Our sons are a month apart.
I know.
And when we say a month apart, we mean a month to the day.
Yeah, really.
Like seriously,
like to the day.
It's
just so wild because I think like that was I think the moment, and I mean I don't mean this against Elliot, but I mean like sitting there holding a baby, doing nothing every minute of the day when I wasn't at work
it's draining.
Very not mentally healthy.
No, it's not.
And like I was okay. I was fine.
No, I get it.
But I wasn't. Like I mean it was like every part of me wanted to go just do something exciting or fun or different. And we couldn't. And I loved him. I loved holding him. I loved being with him. It wasn't bad. It was just this feeling like I am just throwing my time away. Like I'm just like
I could be doing something.
Because at that age they don't know who you are. They're not like, oh, Dad, I love you. So they're just pooping and eating and crying. And so it was like, and then she would come home.
They're little idiots at that time.
Yeah. I mean, there's just not a lot going on. And like, that was when I first started to really get that feeling. I've had it before, but like it really was bad during that part of like just that melancholy. Like I'm just going to sit here in this chair.
Is this it for the rest of my life?
I die.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like I wasn't happy with my life. I loved having a wife. I loved having a baby. I loved having a house and having a job, and all of that was in place. But the feeling, it's like
there's something always missing.
Yeah, you go from like the pretend world where you just imagine that everything was just gonna be great, to the real world where it's like, oh no, I still feel like shit.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really what it was. So like, why? But I'm realizing like for me, the activity is important. I
love camping
naturally.
Now.
Well, like not even like the camping I love, and I want to do it a lot more now that hopefully we are through our little economic issue. But I need to keep exercising. Like the exercise thing, I'm glad that getting a dog bite was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I know I'm getting better. I've met my goal. Like I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I feel good. I can move. My knees don't hurt. There's so many, but for my mind, like more than anything else at this point, my emotional like balance.
Yeah. Feels good.
My mental balance. Like I can't stop doing this.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that's still afraid at some point I'm just going to wake up and my brain's going to go, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, but I hope not.
No. I think that's normal. Like I'm glad I'm where I'm at now. And so for me, like it's a little different because it's like I don't want to quit doing the physical thing, but I think there's something else for me that I need to fix before like that mental side. It's like in a good spot, right? Mm-hmm. Because I get these like feelings of like I'm not doing enough, right? That's kind of what it is I just don't feel like I'm doing enough to feel accomplished, or I don't feel like I'm doing enough to be where I'm at.
Right.
Like I could be doing more with my life. And so I'm trying to get that aspect of my mind like, okay, let's focus on what we're doing right. Let's not focus on maybe a fake scenario in my mind that I don't, might not never, it might never happen. And I need to get past that. And that's where my head is like mentally, like the exercise and stuff like that stuff, like, I don't know if that's helping me
really
in that sense where, because like now that I'm exercising, I feel good. I feel great. Like there's days where I feel amazing, but there's these days where I just feel like what am I doing? Like this sucks. And I honestly think it boils down to what I'm doing for my job. Right. Like I'm working at home. I'm not that guy. I'm not a guy to sit at home all day.
I got you.
I love my kids and I love being with them, and it's nothing
it's not
against
your happy
them.
Place, like as far as
I don't like to say that because I don't want people to, and that's the thing. I don't want anybody to feel like, well, what a piece of shit dad he is, because that's not what it is.
It's that's not what you're saying.
And I'm not saying for me, like that's not my happy place.
Getting
it's
out
not
of the
going to
house
be
and a change of venue for your work.
I think that's more. I think that's better for my mental aspect and for my family. Like if I'm not there all day, because it just drives me bananas.
Right.
And now do I need to figure out when let's say I got to keep my job, right? Now I got to just figure out how am I going to make this work.
But that's part of it too, though, right? Because the solution is change your job, right?
What if I change my job? Now I'm still going to be fucking stressed about this new job, and I'm going to be stressed out because now I'm not spending time with my family.
I will tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
The root of the problem is working at home. No,
I don't know if it is working at home though.
Well,
I think it's my mindset.
It could be. And like it.
I don't know.
I think, like you're on your way there, and I get you. I get it, because when I talked about my feelings around my work, and I think like we were in that same spot together. There was a long period of time where we both felt the same way about our job. And like my job, I mean, nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
But the tough spot is, like you're saying, like, can you get paid the same going somewhere else, or like there's a lot of factors. Like people are always like, well, just
leave.
The problem,
just leave.
It's not always that easy to just solve it. You can know
easy.
The solution, but when you have responsibilities, it makes it hard. But like
100%,
you can you can find ways where you can have
OnlyFans,
but
creator.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Give pictures of your nipples and stuff.
Yeah, you want a bruised toe, baby? I got you.
If I put it in the right angle, it looks like something else.
Yeah. The bottom of my foot looked like a head of a dick.
No, it's like
it seriously looked like a purple penis, though.
Well,
I ain't gonna lie.
So
the head of my foot, the bottom of it looked like a penis.
You showed that picture. I was like, it looks like a head.
He's like, whoa. Tom's like, whoa. I know we're friends, but
Jesse, I love you, but I don't need to see that.
I tell you, I'm a shower, not a grower. I'm a grower, not a shower.
I'm a shower, not a grower, and it still looks small. That's
fat. I mean, I'm a grower, not a shower.
So, like, a good moment for Block and I, like Sunday. I really like watching movies and stuff, but like, again,
I love watching movies because they're so stupid.
Well, in my mindset, I have a hard time sitting and focusing. So, like, a lot of times I would kind of rather be doing something else, sort of. I have a hard time just relaxing. And Blanca loves watching movies.
At least he's the same way.
And so, like,
or just shows.
Yeah.
Just depending.
And I mean, and I like it. I like hanging out, but I always end up getting my phone out or doing something. But like, we watched No Time to Die, the latest James Bond movie on Sunday. And I like the James Bond movies. So, like, they're not like the greatest movies ever made, but they're fine.
Yeah,
like, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
But we talked about.
I'm a Mission Impossible guy.
Fan of them, but
I'm a Mission Impossible guy. I think he would probably wreck 007, but that's just me.
I gotcha. Wow. Agree
and I'm out.
To disagree. But
No, go ahead.
But it was because they're long. I mean,
they're long. They're a few hours.
I mean, it was a long movie.
I haven't seen that one, so I can't say anything about it.
Enjoyed just sitting there with her watching it. Yeah. And then, like, towards the end of the movie, we got the news that we were going to be a 2-hour delay. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And then we got the news the next morning that it was a no school day. But, like, there was this nice feeling about it. It was a Sunday evening, which typically for me is, like, not the happiest time. Like, Sunday afternoon. And we just sat there and watched this long-ass movie and enjoyed it. And it was like, I felt like one time I didn't just sit there thinking about
that's how I felt last night myself.
Stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like... Yeah, so that's weird. We were both in the same headspace.
So I can't say that I'm always negative and feeling like a piece of shit or anything. Because like I said, like, there's times where I feel amazed. Hey, I feel great. I feel love. Don't get me wrong. I love my life. I will never trade it. And there's nothing I would change about it. Yeah. I love it I love what I have right now. Yeah, so the other day, there's been days where I'm, it's not like this all the time, obviously, but there was this day where it was just like, I'd like to look at my wife and I'm like, babe, I love you, like this is, like I'm happy, like I just felt happy and it feels good, like it's just like, damn, like I love my life, like I love what I got right now,
right.
And I get what you're saying though with that, but like yesterday was that same way, because usually like, oh shit, I need to get this done. Oh, garbage needs to go out. I need to go do this. I have like these checklists in my mind.
Yeah.
And so when we got home, it was like we didn't drive. Shout out to my buddy Efren, thanks for driving. But at the same time, it's like nice to be home and just in that moment, we just kind of just chilled. We were just watching. I think we watched a little bit of football, and then we watched some shows.
Uh-huh.
I think I watched this movie called Trolls. Troll or something. It was a Norwegian movie.
Oh,
so it was dubbed.
Nice.
Which we'll talk about here in a second. I know we're a little over right now, but we'll talk about that. But it was just cool like that. Like I didn't feel that way. Like you were just saying. Like I felt that. I just was chill. Like And then there was a point where before that I was like, okay, snow, and so I shoveled some stuff, and I took the garbage out real quick, and then I just watched Trolls, and it was weird because it was about almost a 2-hour movie, and it was so cool, but it was dubbed. And the thing I started thinking about when I was watching the dub, like, because it's a good movie, it's cool, but dub movies, just the acting sucks. Like I don't know what it is about dubs. Like, can we get voice actors that actually can act with their voice?
So
you know what I'm saying?
Meaning like it was actual,
like it was in Norwegian, but there's people talking over the Norwegian.
Hey, why are you in my yard right now? You need to go home.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The guy. So there's this. Are
they trying to match the mouth? Is that what's going on? So
there's this scene, and so it's funny because this troll comes alive. Whatever, right? It's a real life troll in today's society.
Wow. I like the time when they did exist.
All of a sudden, like they weren't real. And
like in the past, when they really lived.
When before trolls, when trolls were around.
long ago.
So it's in today's world.
It was the trolls today.
This is 150 foot.
I love it.
He was a troll, right? He wakes up, and then for whatever the reason. This is what makes me laugh about movies. And this is where I don't know if it's like stoner in me or what it is, but it makes me laugh because I'm like, why are they so fucking mad? They're the ones who woke this motherfucker up. And now they're mad because he's angry because he's like, where the fuck am I? And he's like destroying everybody.
I don't recognize anything.
Yeah, and he's like mad. Like, I get it. And then their first response is like, fucking shoot him. So they do what the U.S. would do, and let's blow them up.
Let's light them up.
Let's get the Norwegian army, and let's light them up.
All 8 of them. let's kill them.
So there's this scene, right? They got the military guy that's Norwegian military. I got to put that out there because it's just so funny to me. And so he's, badass. Like, you think he's like a ranger, fucking SEAL, right? And the dub version, that something happens, and the civilian guys remind me, after this I'm gonna take you out for some Pepsi and Toblerone. Bro, I almost lost it. I was like, for reals? It's not like, hey, after this I'm gonna take you out for a fucking beer and a drink. I'm gonna take you for Pepsi and Toblerone. And that's legit,
what they do
that's
in Norway.
Verbatim the what he said. I'm gonna take you out for a Pepsi and a Toblerone.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Man to man?
Man to man. Wow. Military man to the other guy.
You know what, buddy? You did a great job.
I'm going to take you.
You earned yourself a Toblerone.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me?
Product placement?
That's so stupid.
Dub in a Toblerone?
And so I asked Alicia, I go, I wonder what they really said, though.
Yeah.
Because what if it was a beer and
what if
chocolate?
It was a Pepsi and a Toblerone?
A Toblerone. When I say Toblerone, I mean, that's the word.
Did they end up eating a Toblerone at any point?
They didn't.
That's
disappointing. But no, when they said the Pepsi and Toblerone, I was like,
wow. Is that a good combination, actually? A Pepsi
probably
and
actually really good. Oh. But the movie itself was actually really good. Uh-huh. It was actually a pretty cool movie. I'm not going to so I do recommend watching the movie.
I feel like I need to.
You do. It's actually really cool.
What's it streaming on?
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's called Troll. It's like number 1 on Netflix right now.
Really?
It's actually really good.
Huh. Regardless of the whole Toblerone and Pepsi moment.
Yeah, that moment was hilarious. And I'm sure there's other hilarious moments, but that one really stuck out for me. But The dubbed, you can see the acting for the Norwegian person is there. You can see that they have that passion, and it's just like you can see the acting's probably pretty good for them.
Sure, for them.
The dub version, not so good.
Yeah,
it's like me playing that person, and I'm just like, oh my god, I think it's a troll coming after us.
They
really jump to the gun too, and that was actually pretty hilarious when they figure it out like that. You know what it is? It's a troll.
Right. Clearly, it's one of those ancient trolls in modern times.
It's a dragon.
You remember the long ago when they really did exist? Well, we brought them back to today.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is what happened. No, it's a good movie.
Great. I need to watch it.
Check that out. And another trailer before we end this show that you need to check out is for a movie based on true events called Cocaine Bear.
Oh.
Cocaine Bear. And when I say bear, I mean like rawr grizzly bear.
There's a bear on cocaine.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a bear that ate some cocaine that went missing, but in the movie, the bear goes
nuts.
Oh, nuts! Yeah, he's fucking people up. It looks
for like 5 minutes, and then he needs another hit.
Yeah, no, like one guy's like has cocaine on him, like
and the bear sniffs him, and
yeah, like he's going after someone, and the guy's like sneezes or something, and his like powder comes out.
How much powder did he have on him?
Oh, it was a lot.
Wow.
And so the bear's like, and then he's on one tree, and he goes, yeah.
Wow.
It looks fun.
Rawr.
It looks like a fun. I need some schneef.
That's it.
The bear needs some schneef. I need some schneef, man. But no, it looks really cool. It looks hilarious. Like it looks like I'll show you the trailer after this. But it looks great. So if anybody hasn't seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear, I highly recommend it. It looks like a fun ass movie.
Cocaine Bear.
No, that's the name of the movie.
The name of the movie.
Cocaine Bear. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, figure it out for yourself.
Anything else? Yeah.
I mean, the name matches what that movie's going to be about.
That's true. Yeah.
It's amazing because it's about a bear on motherfucking schneef.
Cocaine. Schneef bear.
Schneef bear. Oh, that has a different ring to it though, right?
Schneef bear.
Schneef. It's probably Norwegian.
Coming to a theater near you.
In it's probably Norwegian.
Hey, why is that bear coming right at us?
Yeah.
Don't slap the powder off your shirt.
What is Norwegian? Is that like Sweden?
Norway, yeah. Norway, Finland, like north of Germany, up there.
That's where Thor was.
Yeah.
Right?
1,500-year-old Thor up there.
Thor's no, like that.
Yeah, the actual character Thor, like theological Thor.
Yeah, it's like in that area.
Isn't he a Norse god?
Yeah, he's a Norse god.
The Vikings, from
there. There's a town there called Jotun or something.
Jotun.
It's it's actually in God of War. It's one of the like cities you go to, like that's a forbidden city or it's like a god city or something crazy. But yeah, I know it's Cocaine Bear. Check it out.
I will
check out Cocaine Bear.
Schneef Bear coming soon.
Schneef Bear.
That's the sequel.
But I mean, I had some more to talk about, but I didn't realize I probably ruined our show with my talking for hours. No, I'm just kidding.
We had a lot of good stuff to talk about.
But I have some other things to talk about next week.
I'll talk about my farting toilet next week.
Yeah, that's a good segue. And then I'll talk about teaching our youth to be like kind of treat women with respect, because that's not something that I'm not sure if I seen it the way I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're not sure that you actually caught.
Like, I think what I seen was
that changed it. Maybe
it could have been my mind thinking this guy was a piece of shit for being a kid. He was a high schooler, and the way he talked to his chick, like I just seen something that maybe it wasn't how I saw it. Maybe his finger wasn't like this, more like this. So I thought he flipped her off because he looked angry. Well, he could have gave her the piece, like, bitch, peace.
Sounds like you're trying to make it.
But like, no, it was literally like I passed him. I was like, well, maybe he threw the peace sign. And I was like, how did he fucking flip her off? Like, fuck you, bitch. But anyway, are we teaching our youth to be respectful of women? It's kind of like the thing I was wondering. Like, our men of today, our men of tomorrow, I guess, if you will. So it's kind of something to think about.
Sure.
Will we remember what I just said? Probably not. But
coming up next week,
farting toilets, we need to really remember that one.
Farting toilets.
I still can't believe that down. Or do you want to talk about it right now? Let's talk about it. He had a toilet
What time
farts.
are we at?
1:20.
1:18. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we got some time.
So this is awkward to talk about, but for the last year, I thought every morning when I went to go to the bathroom in the morning, I had one of those farts that you don't like. You don't feel, but it just happens. Your stomach's just like. But it happens every time I walk up to our toilet, like every time nonstop.
So is this in your literal bathroom?
This is in our bathroom, in our master bathroom, our toilet. Every morning, same time when I go in there, it does this, and it makes this like kind of noise. I'm good. Oh, no, okay. It's not like that. All right, thanks. And they, I asked Blanca the other day because like when I walked in and it was clear it was not coming from me.
Yeah,
I was like, no, this isn't a phantom fart. It's not like my body's just not registering it. Like that came from the toilet.
That was a toilet. Yeah.
So I went to Blanca and I was like, babe, have you ever heard the toilet fart? She goes, yes. Like, seriously, I'm not fucking around. Like, do you hear the toilet fart? She goes, no, for real. I hear it
what is it?
all the time. I have no idea.
It's got to be like air or something.
Gas pocket inside the toilet is erupting every morning. Like, I think what's happening is we're stepping on the floor and it's just releasing enough
air to shoot up
that maybe, but I don't like. It's a weird, very gas-like noise.
So it doesn't make the gas noise, but if it's windy, our toilets the water will like all of a sudden kind of come out of it, right?
Oh, okay.
And then it'll come back up. Or sometimes you'll hear the water like filling up and no one's touched the toilet. All of a sudden it's like,
so you have ghosts in the house. It's like,
yeah, like taking shits or something and flushing on us. But like, but when it's windy, you'll see the water. Like I'll go pee and you'll see the water going like this, coming in and out of the bottom of the toilet. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like a pressure change or something.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm wondering if that's the same thing.
Know.
Maybe it's just in a right spot for like because you're on septic.
But it has to do with us stepping on the floor. Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just happens constantly. But like, okay, it's not like greasy. I will say that. But it's just, it's a sort of
is it like wet,
but it's real low tone. It's like barely audible. But it's more like, when like you just feel like, imagine your butt so wide it just sort of like.
Oh yeah, my butt's pretty wide.
Kind of like,
yeah,
but like barely audible. That's what my toilet does all the time, and it just blows right through.
Yeah.
And like, I've never experienced this before. And we have like tile floor, like hard tile, like actual stone tile. Right. So like, I don't know, but
have you tested just stepping there to see?
No,
like writing it down.
I have not been scientific with it at all. But
maybe you try that.
I should just set a camera in there and just like have it running 24/7 and like put that like ghost meter in there. So every time it registers, it's like, oh, there was another fart.
I smell sulfur. Wait, no, I
farting in my bathroom.
Do you smell sulfur?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you smell
anything.
Eggs?
I don't smell anything. It's the weird. It's really weird. I'm like, it's actually my ass. I didn't.
Well, speaking of scientific, the doctor, because he asked. They asked the great question, are you pooping good? Mm-hmm. And I said, Doc, you know what?
No.
Motherfucker, no, I ain't. I go, I take Metamucil. He's like, well, have you ever written down what you're eating through the day? I'm like, nope. He's like, well, maybe try, like he said, he's like, do that. Write down what you're eating. He goes, because it could be something you've eaten your whole life and you just never realized gives you like that negative, like it gives you IBS.
Right.
Because I guess IBS can be constipation.
One or the other.
Yeah, it could be either diarrhea or constipation, apparently. Yeah. And so, like I said, I keep it real on this show. Yeah. I get constipated.
Sure.
I'm not a regular guy. And so he was just like, write down, like those times, like, okay, it's been, X amount of days.
Sure.
Looks like I've been eating beef and Barkley. And boom, there it is. It's the Barkley. I don't know what Barkley is.
Charles Barkley. I had some Charles Barkley.
I've been eating that ass. No, I'm just kidding.
No offense to Charles Barkley.
But no, like...
No, I get it, though, because like I was... when I cut a lot of stuff out...
Because I've been eating good. Like, I'm not eating... I'm like, I've lost weight. I'm still maintaining that weight loss.
Right.
I haven't been exercising as much as I was. I'm still there. Like, I haven't gained weight. I've lost a little bit. I've gained a little bit. I lost a little bit.
Sure.
Everything else is the same though. Like the regs is I just call keep regular.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's dairy.
I get it.
I don't like dairy though.
So I was eating whole Cheerios, just like regular, clean, healthy Cheerios.
I was like a whole Cheerio, like without the hole.
without the whole. I only ate the whole of the Cheerios.
They're called grape nuts.
I just hold it up to me and suck.
Grape nuts are the whole of the Cheerios. Did you guys know that? Grape nuts are actually the holes from the Cheerios.
I'll bet.
A little something you didn't know.
I'll bet.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that's true. But go ahead.
Yeah, we're not scientists here.
Yeah.
But no, like I did realize, like when I got to the point I wasn't eating, like at that time I was very strict with my diet.
Yeah.
You remember that. It was not a lot.
I feel like you still are.
I'm cautious, but I'll eat. Like my mom made us holiday stuff, and I've been eating some holiday stuff.
I gave you a drop, and you're like, "No."
He
virtually slapped me.
Knock it off. No, I try to be better, but
no, I get you.
No, but like I would eat Cheerios because like I still liked cereal.
I love cereal,
dude. Like I was bad with cereal. I would eat like 3 bowls in a row at night.
Bro, a big bowl too.
But yeah, as full as I could get.
Oh yeah,
my problem though is I realized when I ate that, like I felt really good because I kind of flushed all the crap out of my system. But even with that being like a whole grain and all that, it made me feel like crap. Like it almost gave me like acid reflux.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. So yeah, you can find things that you're like, wow.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to start doing, is kind of writing down.
Right.
Just so you guys know, if you ever feel constipated and you're doing a good job, write down.
What do you eat?
Like I said, we keep it real on this show, 100%.
Hey, we care about you.
The way
we want
I
you
talk,
to find happiness.
Like I said, the way I talk, I say off there is the same. I speak the same, so it's not like there's not a change in the way we both talk to each other.
But I honestly feel like truths have not been told.
I'm like, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Right? This is how we talk to each other. Yeah. Secretly, we really fucking hate each other.
We don't talk to each other ever.
Yeah, I can't stand him. He can't stand me.
I cannot wait until this guy's out of my house.
He's like, I'm like, Tom, you want to do the podcast? He's like, whatever. Fuck,
fine,
I suppose. Like,
how much longer are we doing this?
He's like, yeah, I'm only doing this because you're my stepdaughter's dad. That's the only fucking reason I'm doing this, bitch. No.
I want to be nice to you.
Yeah, I know. That'd be crazy, actually, if I found that out.
The truth of
we are really best friends.
What I like about us talking openly is I think that we're just in a culture where it's not always okay to do that.
It isn't.
And
it's always looked down upon when a guy actually opens up about how he feels.
And honestly, it's like, whatever. Okay, if it's stupid and shitty, then I'm that guy. But
I know. I will always admit, like, I think I'm that guy that wears my emotions on my sleeve in a sense, like my heart on my sleeve. Like I keep emotions in, but a lot of time I'll tell you how I feel.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. Right. I keep a lot in. Like there's things my wife, there's things I keep in. I bottle a lot in, but like a lot of stuff I'm very forthcoming. I guess.
Right.
So that's how I hope that helps others.
For sure.
For both, me and you, like I said, for you and for me, like it helps us, I think, talking.
Helps me.
I think I needed it. I needed a little sesh. This is my little sesh.
Yeah. Just call it therapy.
I really feel like it's therapeutic for me.
It is for me. I hope it is for you guys out there.
It better be.
Those
if
of
not,
you that
then you know
subscribed and like what we do, thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll be on a podcast here on the 20th. I don't know if it's going to be on the 20th, but
22nd, right?
22nd.
Yeah.
Well,
they're going to record with us, and then later it'll be up. But
yeah, I wonder when it'll be up. He better tell us. We'll let him know.
They gave some information in an email, so I'll fill you in. But.
So Tom will fill me in after this. We both kind of went over what was available, and then you did the
we got to get some headshots and stuff. So it's pretty nice.
I'm gonna do the fish lips. Wait, duck lips?
We cannot do any schneef before we go.
I can't do the fish lips.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't even know how to take a headshot, so I'm
either. I know how to do them on Call of Duty,
but I'm very excited. Very excited.
That's cool.
I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna be on it's gonna be on a relationship kind of podcast. So it'll be cool. I'm excited.
Me too.
It's different. I'm nervous.
So honored that we have been asked by.
There's a second question on there that I don't know how to answer it.
Preparation, so
I don't know how to prep for that second question.
Way we don't talk over each other and do what we usually do, but
we do that a little bit. Not always, most of the time, but whatever. Anyway,
we're getting better.
You guys have a good break.
Yeah,
have a good day.
It was nice talking to everybody.
It was.
Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Oh, there's a big old fucking whiskey bottle on the way.
Oh, just remember Canadian Club. They're one of our sponsors.
There is. Yeah.
No product placement here.
Yes, no product placement here.
Jesse and I are going to go have our Pepsi and Toblerone. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Pepsi and Toblerone.